Good morning, Harry and Robin. So Harry, what have you been doing this morning?
We've just been lifting up the canopy of the sycamore trees so that the lower branches don't affect the damage of the tops of the walls basically. And then we're just taking this to either be shredded or burnt on the bonfire.
So this week in the gardening team we're doing a very important job. Ideal time of the year to do it really. But we're taking all the ivy off the outer wall of the garden just to help to preserve the wall and its tiles on the top, save the ivy pulling it off. So if we go over to my team. This is an important job, as Sonia and Dave originally took off ivy with sort of this size trunks, and we obviously don't want it to get anything like that again. It's quite a long old job really. It's probably taken us 2 to 3 days to get all the way around the outside. But as you can see, it's lovely to see a nice clear wall and you can see exactly where we've been. It just keeps it tidy for another year. Show everybody what important job you're doing. When the walls were originally cleared of the ivy, they found a couple of interesting things, didn't they, Harry?
Yeah, we found, well, not me personally, but one of the old workers here at the Wall Garden managed to find an engraved start date and end date for when the Wall Garden was originally built for the hall, which was really nice to see. And we haven't really found anything else, but those are the main two brick things, and we just wanted to keep it back to all clean and not cause any damage from the ivy to the pan tiles and the brick wall.
So you're preserving that history in a way, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
And the two bricks are actually still in the walls near both the gates,
Right.
the entrance gate and the gate at the side there.
Are they? I'll have to go and have a look at those then.
Yeah. So we've got the hole roughly twice as wide and twice as deep as the pot. Now we fluff the bottom of the hole, pop a sprinkle in of bloodfish and bone in, just to give the plant some nutrients as it's setting, to help its roots and under the soil. And then we half fill the hole with water. Gently squeeze the side of our pot, turn it upside down and pop it into the hole, backfill with soil. Firm it in so there's no air gaps for any frost to penetrate. Then give it a sprinkle of water over the top. Now at the moment we're planting out because it's still mild, the ground is nice and wet, so it's still an ideal time to plant out in the garden.
often, but I've got a list of questions here that I'm going to ask you, just about you and yourself and why you started working here, basically.
Yeah, okay.
So, how long have you worked at the Royal Garden Baumber for now?
I've been here since September last year, so about 13, just over a year. I've seen a full year here now, which is
all the seasons.
Yeah, which is perfect for me now, really, because I've seen what spring brings, summer, autumn, and winter. So
and that's it. When you're a new gardener too, you don't know what's been planted here before.
that's it. I
So
didn't know
now
what I'd inherited, what was going to spring up in the spring, or and it's nice to see all the different colours and things like that. And now that I've seen a full year, you can kind of see what's working, what maybe needs jigging, but you do need that full sort of year to appreciate, just see what pops up at you.
So sort of what brought you here? How did you find the place?
To be honest, somebody saw the job advertised, and I was working for myself at the time, and I'd been mentioning to sort of friends and family that I'd like to get back into, well, basically, I worked for myself when I'd had my 2 children, so that I could always be there, just work school holiday, not have to work school holidays, school times was when I worked and things like that. So I got maximum time with the kids, really. But then obviously they've grown up now, got 2 teenagers, so I thought, well, I'll get back into, I wanted to, because it's quite lonely. Oh, it was for me, because I worked for myself and it was just me, so I wanted to get back into a team and sort of working with more people again, and it's been lovely. Everybody who works here is absolutely lovely, and my team is fantastic, so I made the right move.
And so what do you like most about working here, do you think?
It might be a bit of a long-winded answer because there's lots of things, really. For me, I like a cold frosty morning when the garden's sort of covered in frost. You can see the frosty cobwebs, the frost on the leaves, but then while your fingers are numb and you're trying your hardest to get the blood pumping, you kind of walk past the cafe, smell the fire, and all the scones cooking and the soup, and it's like, oh,
it's like going to your grandma's at Christmas or something.
It's a nice feeling for me, so I enjoy that. And then I like the fact that we've got an Edgeworthia, which is a plant on the other side of the lake, and you've got this like winter wonderland going on around you, and then this beautiful plant just comes out in an absolute mass of honey smelling sort of flowers ready for like very early insects.
Where is it, did you say?
It's in the tropical border and it looks tropical. So for me, I've never seen one before, you see, until I came here, and it's just this beautiful plant in the middle of a barren kind of but this garden's full of things like that, so it's hard to say what I like the best, because I mean at the minute it's autumn, and I mean our native trees are starting to put on a beautiful autumnal show.
I can see them,
But then we've also got on the selling area there's some beautiful shrubs, berries all coming out at the minute. Then we've got liquid ambers that are turning these beautiful reds and oranges. Our acers are all the same, it's so there's always little trees all year round. I mean obviously this year we've had the I really liked how the Gypsy Caravan area went, and all the wildflowers on there, which attracted all the pollinators. And the lake is just absolutely beautiful all year round, which is a right treat.
We're kind of known for verbena here, aren't we? I feel like everyone always picks up verbena after they've seen it here, because it has got that wow factor of all the purple around the lake. And
then when we have to chop it down, when it's completely finished, we leave it as long as we can, but then it's just completely different, it just looks bare. But
that's nice too. It's nice to give it that refresh, sort of like a little clean up.
And then, I mean, you think there's going to be nothing coming out, maybe you get the snowdrops, and the woodland area come springtime is
Absolutely
That's
beautiful.
my favourite.
And it just, all the plants start to come up and it's like, oh, the sap's rising, spring's on the way sort of thing. So that area is beautiful in
They've
the
all got
spring.
their own sort of specialities at different times of year, don't they? All
Yeah.
the different bits in the garden.
The heather hill, when nothing else is flowering much, all the winter heather comes out and just looks beautiful for months, you know.
I love that on a frosty
really,
morning.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
really got that purple coming through.
So it's never a dull moment, really, I say. And I've learned so many new plants, and I mean there's things like Cornus Cusa that I've never seen before. It's a very quirky garden with a lot of different planting. So it's been nice to learn it. I'm still learning it, to be absolutely honest. There's still a lot I don't know.
Learning, aren't we? Yeah. What would you say was our most asked for plant?
Definitely Leptonella Platts Black,
Yeah.
which we have in the Oriental garden. It's like a ground cover plant, but it shows itself off so well in our Oriental garden that it pretty much sells itself. And it's just like a nice fuzzy carpet.
It looks like a moss, but is it a moss?
No, it's just a ground cover really, but you get different types of it. We've got Platts Black, but you can get like a green one and a slightly taller one, but it's almost like a little ferny. It's not a fern, but it looks like a similar sort of.
Yeah, it's like fuzzy.
And it's just looks like a carpet. It's brilliant.
You like that one?
Really nice stuff, and it makes the Oriental sort of riverbed look really good.
Yeah.
Underneath all the planting.
So with that, what would you say was your most disliked thing about the job?
I don't dislike anything really, but I suppose a day in the winter where it just consistently sideways rains on you all day long and it's cold, because then it gets really muddy. And obviously if it goes really cold, it's just have to work that bit harder to try and keep the warm blood flowing.
Yeah.
But then when it's absolutely stifling hot as well, trying to work in it, we just have to find shady areas. But then I do like the summer because you get customers all year round, obviously, but it's just lovely to meet the customers. Have a chat with them about their gardens, hopefully answer any questions they've got.
Well, we're always asking you loads of questions as well, aren't we? It's useful to work here if you're a gardener at home, because we're always wanting to know what this is, or how do we look after this plant, when's best to plant it, or something like that. We're always coming to you guys with questions too, so yeah, it's very handy having you guys on hand. So have you always been interested in gardening then?
Yes, since my earliest memories, really. My dad's a keen gardener, so right from being little I've gardened with my dad and been chopping sticks and whatnot since, not long after I could walk really. But then my mum and dad split up, so when I went to see my dad, gardening's always been a thing that me and my dad can do together because we're both real keen on it.
Yeah.
And then my mum enjoys the garden, but when I was younger I used to sort of garden our garden at home.
Yeah.
And then when I was about 9-ish, 9, 10, something like that, my granddad bought me a pond liner, so I put my first pond in. And it's just been like that my whole life really, just keen to learn. I love ponds and water features.
You've got a pond in your own garden, don't you?
Yeah, I've got two. I love wildlife gardening. I like to attract as much wildlife as possible. I think it's really important. So
Absolutely.
And then my whole sort of career from about 20 onwards, I've been in horticulture in one way or another. I worked for Grimsby College in their horticultural department for over a decade, then worked for myself, and now I'm here. So.
And obviously we've got an apprentice gardener here as well at the minute as well, so it's quite nice for you to be able to teach them.
It's lovely. I've got a junior gardener and a apprentice gardener, and they both work so hard, and they're just so keen to learn, which is lovely.
Yeah.
So I try my best to just sort of step by step go through everything we do, just so that they can, I mean, our apprentice Nikki, she'll be going off to college, but if I can arm her with as much knowledge as possible to make it enjoyable, and they seem to be getting on real well and enjoying it, so.
Yeah, we'll have a chat with them too as well in the coming weeks if we can, to see how they're getting on, but obviously there's been clips of them throughout this video and past videos, so you'll get to meet them at some point. So where can other people learn about gardening? People that visit or people that are watching this video? Have you got any recommendations?
We've got a design course coming up in, I think it's like a meet and greet and see if you fancy it kind of session in February, and then it's in March. If I think that's right. Which will be lovely, because especially if you've got your own garden at home, whether it's a mature garden or a from scratch sort of garden, that people will be able to come along and we'll help them out as best we can with their designs, or and what to put where plant wise and things like that, and just help them to put something down on paper if it, you know, and then work from that in choosing the right plants for and the right colour schemes.
It's hard to know though, like what soils to do, if it's shady or not, how big it grows, things like
whether
that.
It's dry or wet or boggy, or there's a lot to consider when you put in a new garden, and if we can help out in any way
and save you money so your plants don't die.
Try and get it right first time. We don't always like, but you can try. But it's a bit of a minefield really when you, and it just anything we can help people with, for them to create their own little piece of heaven in the garden would be just
take a bit of the wall garden home with them, or something like that. So who's going to be running that then?
Sonia is running that with assistance from the gardening team, so we'll all be sort of involved at some stage.
Cool.
So
looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to that.
And so what are the plans for winter at the Wall Garden Baumber then?
Well, at the moment we are chopping back in the hot border, which is the one that runs along the car park edge. And what it's exposed for us really is that there's a lot of planting that's been in there quite a while, so it just perennials kind of progressively clump bigger and bigger. So we're just going to have to rein them back in, if you like, to a good size, keep the nice pieces of plant in, take out the dead disease, that kind of thing. There's a few plants that are too close together or have grown, so we can just have a shuffle around and a tidy up and just make that one a bit nicer for next year.
Do you have to take any of them in over winter, those ones? Or
yes, actually, a good question. We have purple bananas in there. And we've got 5 purple bananas that we don't actually plant into the ground. We keep them in like big pots because they won't last our winters. They don't like it lower than about 6 or 7 degrees really. So they've already gone in because we've already had 2 or 3 frosts. So we had to quickly get all of our tender plants in. But apart from that, it's just full of reds and oranges.
It's lovely, isn't it? For autumn.
There's still to be honest, there's a lot of colour about, even though we've had 2 or 3 frosts. A lot of our plants and dahlias and things are still going. So and then we've got another site which we're starting to develop, which is Watermill Farm, and that's going to be like a propagating site. So we've already got a polytunnel on there, so we're doing a lot of dividing, seed sowing. We've had some plugs, we do hardwood cuttings, softwood cuttings, a bit of everything really, and we're trying to make the plants in the garden more available to people on the stall.
Cutting out the middle.
Because we get a lot of people asking, especially when things are in flower around the garden and looking nice, we sort of get asked, oh, do you sell that? And a lot of the time we have to say, oh no, we don't actually. But so we're going to try and
have a homegrown
Yeah,
lamb.
yeah. And it just saves on like miles and things, you know, like we don't have to have delivery trucks come with
Yeah,
the diesel and things.
more eco, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, which is better for the planet, isn't it? So,
That's what we like.
so that's what we're doing at the moment.
And there's going to be a video of that coming up. The next one of the next 2 videos, I think it's going to be of Watermill Farm, and then your plans for down there, and how you're designing it, and all the work that's going on. And we've already started filming it, so
Yeah,
excited to see.
it's a very big site.
It's huge, 4 acres, I think she
Especially,
said.
yeah. Now it's been cleared, it looks even bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there's a lot of work to be done down there, but it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting time
Great.
for us all.
One of the most important weekly jobs that we do here at the War Garden Baumber is grass cutting. We use a push mower and we use a ride-on mower, and this just ensures that the customers get to see the grass in its finest.